Garrett Dellinger has committed to LSU. We got to talk about it after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You got to help me with that corner
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, we need to talk about four-star offensive tackle Garrett Dellinger out of Clarkson, Michigan, who decided to commit to LSU. Big win for James Craig and Ed Orgeron, the Bayou Bengals, as he is the first offensive lineman to commit to the class of 2021, and they are moving right along, picking up Garrett Nussmeier in May, and they continue to pick up edge rushers and great defensive players like Landon Jackson. With this commitment, though, they get an offensive tackle that they so desperately wanted. Just over a week ago, we were talking about them being in the running for J.C. Latham along with Ohio State and others, and he ends up picking Alabama, which was a double whammy for LSU, as Alabama and LSU are both in the SEC West, and they compete for players, and they really need to get a great win. This comes with, Michigan feeling like they were going to be there, as he is a Michigan kid, but choosing LSU also gives you some momentum and perhaps can help you out with Rocco Spindler, but Rocco Spindler seems like he's going to try to stay in state. As for Dellinger, 6'6", 290 pounds, moves well. He and Spindler combined to make one of the best 2021 offensive line duos that we will see. The other one, Cullen Montgomery and Donovan Jackson at Houston Episcopal. Jackson, of course, is the highest rated offensive guard and a top 10 recruit according to the top 247. And yes, Cullen Montgomery is a 3-star recruit who's committed to the University of Oklahoma. Now, with Dellinger making this thing official, you continue to see what kind of momentum is picking up as we near the expected commitment on July 4th of Caleb Williams, with LSU, Maryland, and Oklahoma ending up as his finalists. We'll see how this all figures out, but goodness me, at 6'6", 290, and the way that he moves, you can understand how he's still filling out, and he's still got room to grow, and he still could be one of the best offensive linemen at LSU and in the SEC when it's all said and done. He has the tools right now to be that of a Jedrick Wills, to be that of really, man, I mean, we talk about C.D. Charles, but like, I'm trying to think of a better offensive tackle than perhaps Tristan Lee, right? Who we all expect to be really great, and Latham we already expect to be really great, but getting this win from Michigan also gives you another win above the Mason-Dixon line in the last 3 months, winning a commitment from Jair Brown. Like, this is a top 100 tackle, and the number 12 tackle according to top 247 is top 79 player, so you can see how deep this tackle group really is, because being top 100, but also still being the 12th best tackle in the nation is a really deep class. So I can't wait to see how these guys go. The other thing that is really interesting to point out here is that offensive tackles don't make a habit of going into the transfer portal. Where they commit to is where they usually sign to, and where they sign to is where they usually stay. So knowing what the offensive tackling recruiting has looked like for LSU this year, and knowing how they're basically going to cycle in a whole bunch of new faces, you love having this kiddo in the group with you. Now, he joins what I think is a really, really great LSU class that I want to recap for you so that everybody's caught up and we're all working with the same, data here. So, Rajon Davis, 5-star or 4-star outside linebacker. I think he ought to have a 5th star. JoJo Earl, who I know that Oklahoma wanted coming out of Alito, also a top 100 player. And then Deion Smith is a top 100 player. So that's 4 top 100 players for LSU. When you count Dellinger in there, that's not too shabby. And this is a top 13 class, a 13th ranked class, without a 5-star in it right now, right? Kamar Wheaton is still on the board and still very much looking at LSU, SMU, and Oklahoma. Then there's Garrett Nussmeier, Landon Jackson, Corey Kiner, another dude coming from Ohio, a place that Michigan and Ohio State, for lack of a better term, traditionally win, right? For him to come down to LSU speaks so highly of what they expect to do. And getting him out of Cincinnati, I got to believe Luke Fickell is just sick about that. Same thing with Notre Dame. And then there's Xavier Carter, Savion Jones, outstanding weak side defensive end, Kari G, Anthony Hundley, and then we can count Peyton Todd. We can count West Monroe's finest. We can count a punter. If it makes you feel good, we'll count a punter. But you could see how they're building out a class that is going to challenge for a top 5 ranking if they can get a couple of 5 stars in the boat. As we're seeing the flurry of commitments are still coming. Tony Grimes moved up his date by 6 months, going from I'm committing December 1 to I'm committing on June 30th. We've already know about Dallas Turner, who's going to commit on July 1st. We know, as I said, Williams is going to commit on July 4th. And they're coming fast and furious, and they're coming really, really hard. With Emeka Egbuka still on the board, with JT Tuimoloau still on the board, with Corey Foreman still on the board, with Mason Smith still on the board, Amarius Mims still on the board. Like, they're coming. And we're seeing how this is rounding out. With Georgia, LSU, Florida, and Alabama all really recruiting well. We still have to talk about Tennessee as a top 10 team, we think, if they're able to hold on to all 23 of these commitments. Meanwhile, Clemson continues to recruit like Clemson has been recruiting for the last 5 years. Oklahoma is hoping to get some momentum going after the recent pickup of Nathan Rollins-Kaibonge, but we will see. Let's see what Kelvin Gilliam does, because he's between LSU and Oklahoma. Though Oklahoma ended up winning Clayton Smith in large part due to scheme, though he was down to LSU, Texas, and Oklahoma. Another kid coming out of Texarkana that plays against Landon Jackson. I'm excited about this 21 class. I really can't wait to see these guys get to campus and see what they are able to give us in the form of play, because my goodness, are we not talking about some phenomenal football players? Because I feel like that's all we've been doing, talking about phenomenal football players. With Elite 11 coming up, Caleb Williams, Brock Vandergriff, Garrett Nussmeier didn't even get invited to the Elite 11 finals, and he's that good, right? J.J. McCarthy. We can keep going here. My point is, you should be excited if Garrett Dellinger is coming to LSU. You should be excited if Caleb Williams decides to go to Maryland. You should be excited to watch these kids play college football, because in the age of the COVID, every one of these commitments that is a future look is a good look, because as soon as we get out of this thing, and we will get out of this thing, we are going to have phenomenal sports and phenomenal college football to watch. All right, that is it for me. There's